Where on earth do I start with this one? Hey guys, welcome back to the AJ Analysis channel, where today we have coverage of another bitterly disappointing performance and result for Manchester United, again at home, this time in the Champions League at a 3-2 loss to Galatasaray. What on earth did we watch? What on earth happened? Who's to blame? Is it the players? Is it individuals? Is it the manager? Is it the tactics? What on earth did we just watch? Let's try cover it today. Let's try figure out what on earth just went wrong for Manchester United. We're going to discuss a little bit of everything, so let's just get into it because I just want to get this out of the way, basically. So let's start off with the tactics. Galatasaray really weren't very good. They played in this 4-2-3-1 shape, but often defended in a more traditional 4-4-2. The way that they played was that they would kind of put pressure on the ball when the ball went to one side. So let's say Amrabat's got the ball in a left-back position. Galatasaray are going to come over and try and press. But United found it really easy to cycle the ball backwards and then go out to the other side and find the spare man. The spare man on the other side, this was always the way for United to get out from the back, whether that be a fullback or a midfielder dropping a little bit deeper. Of course, it could happen the other way around as well. Galatasaray could come press over this side. But then someone like Mason Mount or Sofian Amrabat would find themselves free on the other side to receive the ball. United find it quite easy to get out from the back. And like I said, Galatasaray genuinely weren't very good. From here, what do we see? United are getting on the ball and playing really good attacking football. But with literally no control on the game at all. Literally no control on the game. Casemiro, I've got it written here, had 73% pass accuracy. Bruno Fernandes had 78%. That probably highlights what the problems in this match are going to be. United get the ball, and I could not believe how pinball this was. United get the ball, and within 2 touches, pretty much every single time, the ball had been fired forward, particularly from Casemiro. Now, sometimes that's really going to work. You're going to ping the ball forward every time you get it within 2 touches, and if those passes come off, the opposition physically don't have time to settle. So you get the ball here, you instantly ping at someone, you're in a 1 versus 1 situation, you can attack them. You can ping it out into this area, attack them. Ping it into this area, attack them, and it works really, very well, and you cause a lot of problems. However, the second those passes don't start quite connecting, you're turning the ball over constantly, giving the opposition the ball all day long, and now giving yourself a hell of a lot of ground to cover. A lot of ground to cover out of possession. And that's basically the story of this United game. We're not going to go into this tactically quite in the same way which we normally do, because I want to talk about something else towards the end of the video. But United so easily, with this style, could have won this football match 5-0, or lost it 3-2 in the nature that they did. We had, again, I've got some of them written down here, we had Hannibal with a huge chance where he doesn't quite get the chest control right. We had Rashford, where that square ball to Bruno Fernandes, he just completely messes up the pass. I think a confident Rashford either scores that or completes the pass. We had Garnacho's shot getting blocked. We had Rasmus Højlund so close to rounding the goalkeeper after the Mason Mount through ball, but he couldn't quite get on the end of it. We had Bruno Fernandes making a poor decision shooting when he had Dalot in a really good position. Mason Mount, a left-footed shot, he kind of pulls the shot. The disallowed goal, the offside goal when Mount plays to Højlund. Could he have gone across to Marcus Rashford, who had more of a tap-in? Granted, it was a good ball anyway, but just offside. United could have scored 5 or 6 goals in this game. The problem is they could have conceded 5 or 6 goals in this game as well. And that is the problem with this style of football. So what we need to figure out, moving forward, is who is actually to blame for this. Because when I'm even seeing Sofian Amrabat play stupid forward passes when it's not even on, then I have a concern. Because you guys know what I think of this guy as a player. He is an incredible player who keeps the ball safe, he's metronomic on the ball, he keeps the ball sideways, he profiles really nicely as a dictating player. Why am I seeing him playing random forward passes all of a sudden? Why am I seeing it in the build-up for the Galatasaray, the 3rd goal? Why does he play that hopeful ball forward, which was just never on? This is making me start to think it's instruction. Because Casemiro, in 2 touches, he pings it forward. Amrabat started doing it in this game. Bruno Fernandes always does it. Christian Eriksen came from the bench, and to be fair, even he done something similar. He's someone who normally brings a little bit more control at least. But even he was getting the ball and pinging it forward. What on earth is going on? That is not how football tactics work. These players, at the end of a 90-minute match, whether it's because of Ten Hag's tactics or the individual decisions on the ball, these players, their bodies must be absolutely shot by the end of the night. When they put their head on the pillow and then wake up the next morning, their bodies must be in pieces, because the amount of ground that these footballers have to cover in a 90-minute game is just absurd. But it's their fault, because they get the ball, they hoof it forward, you're just covering so much ground. The volume of sprints you have to do when you play like that is just crazy. It's absolutely bonkers. I don't understand it. And when you've got someone like Casemiro, he can't do that. Sofian Amrabat can't do that at left back. It doesn't work. Victor Lindelof is not a centre back where you can play that sort of style. Dalot is not the sort of fullback which can deal with that defensive intensity. It doesn't make sense. And this is where I am so confused in this match, because I don't know who's to blame. And I don't like that. Normally we can kind of pick out certain areas of the game which were the problem. Is this the players, or is this the manager? I don't know. Now, another day we could be sitting here talking about a brilliant 5-0 United win. Rashford should finish off that chance with Bruno Fernandes. Between the pair of them, they should score the goal. It's horrendous from Rashford. Rasmus Højlund so nearly, like I said, gets on that touch to take it around the keeper. So close. So close. United could have easily, absolutely breezed through this game, right? And actually, probably on how the game went, they probably should have done. Which makes it hard to criticise Ten Hag for this game, because United should have won this 3 or 4-0 easily. But because it also feels like, how can you blame Erik Ten Hag when you see an individual error like this, which leads to a goal? You got an individual error like this, which leads to a goal. You got an individual error like this, which leads straight to a red card. And then another individual error like this, which leads to a goal. It makes it quite difficult to blame Erik Ten Hag when the players are doing such stupid, foolish stuff on the ball. There's a real problem at United, and I think it's, more than anything, I think it's a psychological problem. These players, their confidence just seems shot. There is a negative energy, like a negative cloud over this whole United team. Rashford last season, that chance, he bags it, I'm sure of it. He puts it in the back of the net. What is going on with this team? Onana is one of the best ball-playing goalkeepers in history. Now, yes, he's always had the odd mistake in him, but he doesn't seem like he can play out from the back at the moment. He's always going along and not really completing them. He doesn't seem to be able to hold a ball. He doesn't seem to be able to make a save. This is a player who was the best goalkeeper in the Champions League 4 of the last 5 seasons for his passing and his shot stopping. Suddenly he can't do it. Sofian Amrabat, brilliant at keeping the ball. Suddenly stupidly overturning possession. Casemiro looks like he doesn't understand how the game of football works. Bruno Fernandes just firing passes left, right and centre and it's not working. Rashford making poor decisions and executing poorly. What on earth is going on? These players, they seem to go into this mode where when someone goes wrong, their first touch becomes poor, their passing becomes poor, their understanding of spacing becomes poor, their partnerships with players around them becomes poor. It's gotten to the point at the moment with this United team where I'm kind of watching these matches, and this one I've watched this back twice already, so I've watched it 3 times in total. Because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just giving an emotional response, because you guys ask for analysis and tactics. But when I watch it, I don't know what to talk about. Because when it's such schoolboy errors, I can't just sit here to you guys and go, here's a 20-minute video on United can't complete a first touch or a pass. I can't bring you that content. And that's where I'm at with United. From a tactical point of view, it seems confused. I believe the pass completion rate in the build-up phase in this game was about 78%, which is United's worst this season. That is absolutely horrendous. Please go watch that game back and watch how many times the ball just gets absolutely cannoned forward. Now, again, some of them are working really nicely, right? Some of the time, United are kind of drawing Galatasaray over to one side, like this, and someone like Casemiro is playing a random ping. It's getting the ball to Rashford in a 1-versus-1 situation, and in this game, he had better support. Mason Mount done a good job of underlapping. Amrabat done the same at times. United looked really dangerous when they're doing this. And you're thinking, yeah, we could really hurt Galatasaray here, really tear them apart. Mason Mount, I thought, was absolutely brilliant. Rasmus Højlund was incredible. He deserves a video by himself, and I might do that later in the week if you guys want it for a bit more of a positive outlook, because he was genuinely incredible. But United are showing moments where the attack looks so good and there's so much positivity, and you're in so many good situations, good opportunities. But then at the same time, because of the style of football that it is, it's so high risk, high reward. And it seems at the moment, we're just seeing the risks, like the risk effect. Because United are getting into these areas but not quite getting the reward. And then on the other occasions, when they give the ball away with this crazy attempted passing football, the opposition have so much room to run into. And again, it's so much sprint work which the players have to do. That's probably why we're seeing so many injuries, because the volume of sprints that these guys have to do is just absurd. There is so much ground to cover because United are always pinging the ball forward. And like I said, again, when people are making individual errors, when Dalot makes that horrid mistake, when Amrabat gets done too easily on the turn, but Casemiro also is out of position. I can't be bothered to break the goal down, but maybe we can look at it later in the week when my head isn't quite as hot. Onana, with the most basic pass, gets Casemiro sent off. And then Amrabat giving the ball away for the third goal. I don't understand. I'm genuinely at a loss for words. And the reason I'm at a loss for words is because, again, and I'm just repeating myself now, because you can see how confused I am, guys. I don't understand what we watched. Because the main reason I'm confused is that United could have so easily won this game 4-0. So easily, and it wouldn't have been undeserved. United weren't that terrible in this game, yet they conceded 3 goals at home to Galatasaray. No disrespect to Galatasaray, but that can't happen. United should not score 2 goals at home in the Champions League, both times to go in front, and not come away with a point at Old Trafford. It can't happen. It's horrendous. The amount of cutbacks United conceding at the moment, horrendous. And again, it comes down to, I think it's the mindset of the players. I think tactically United are set up wrong. Ten Hag, we can talk about all the injuries he has. If you look at the 2 11s, we'll go back to it real quick. Ten Hag had the better 11 in this game. You can't argue that. Galatasaray have some good players, but the United 11 is clearly better here. More set up to control possession, if they wanted to. But Ten Hag is setting the team up wrong, because at this point, it has to be instruction that the players are looking to go forward this quickly. It has to be. If it's not, the players are... Well, it's an even bigger problem than I thought. But then you look at the individuals, the mistakes, the mindset of the team, that when something goes wrong, the team collapses. Even at the moment, when something goes good, the team collapses, because we're scoring and conceding within 6 minutes every time. I'm genuinely lost, and in this video, so normally I bring you guys the answers on what happened, basically, why certain things happened, how certain things happened, the knock-on effect that had. Today I'm asking for help from you guys. Please, please, please get in the comments down below and let me know what on earth went wrong in that game. Because I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I thought Amrabat had an okay game outside of the errors. I thought Lindelof had an okay game outside of the errors. The same for Varane, the same for Dalot. Casemiro I thought was awful on the ball. Bruno Fernandes was absolutely terrible. Mason Mount was brilliant. Rasmus Højlund was brilliant. Rashford was okay, but the execution was horrendous. How can United play so, decently? Not brilliant at any point, because there was never control. But United didn't play that badly. Why are we seeing so many individual mistakes? Why is that happening? Now again, United didn't play that badly. I'm not saying it was good. It wasn't a good performance, because again, United never controlled the game. But United didn't put in a performance which concedes 3 goals at home to Galatasaray. What on earth is going on with these individual errors that we are seeing? We've seen it since pre-season now. It really is a problem. In terms of moving forward and how do United bounce back and react to this, it's all going to come down to Ten Hag for me. Now, initially, we need to see tactical changes. The team has to be more attentive on the ball. It physically has to be, because United are not good enough at defending to give the ball away so much. So there has to be change there. If not, he genuinely runs a risk of losing his job. But I think the bigger test for Ten Hag now is going to be about his man management skills. Because some of these players clearly are shot for confidence. Onana looks like he's lost a bit of confidence in goal. Maybe confidence in his defence in front of him, actually. Lindelof looks a shadow of himself. Casemiro making horrendous decisions. Bruno Fernandes terrible. Marcus Rashford horrible execution. Ten Hag needs to figure out which players need to be dropped to get them back, but also what players need an arm around the shoulder. Because, for example, player A plays badly. He might need to be kicked out of the team to kind of, okay, switch on, I need to be better. Whereas another player that might have the complete opposite effect. Their confidence might really dive bomb. Some players need more of an arm around the shoulder and a reassurance that the manager has faith in them. So I just hope that Ten Hag knows his players, but also knows which ones that he can actually trust when it comes to it on the football pitch, when the shift is needed, to have his back. He needs to have the players back here and manage them properly, but the players also need to have his back. That's what we need to see moving forward. We can't keep seeing these individual errors, these complete collapses in games, complete calamities. It has to stop happening. How do you do that? You pass it over to the manager and the players and you say, get on with it, because it's what you're paid to do. In terms of what we do in video, we probably end it there, because again, from a tactical point of view, from an analytical point of view, which is what I want to cover, I just don't think it even scratches the surface of what is wrong with this team. So for today's video, we are leaving it there. Let me know if you want the Rasmus Højlund video, just to kind of bring a bit of positivity, because it is very dire at the club at the moment, but he is a real bright spark. But apart from that, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.